for a second there. For Mythic Seal, there we go. So many teams to follow for this tournament, and yeah, they are going to be starting it off with a Lunox ban. Respect onto Ruby DD's name. I mean, there is a most highly likely most Lunoxes that we've seen throughout this day have gone into the mid lane as a pick for that role. Most likely for Nico, but come on, just take away the Lunox, and I am okay with this for ZETA.
No, 100%. Like, even if we haven't actually seen the Ruby DD play a Lunox here in GOF, it's safe to just ban it out. Like, you just gotta give respect, man. He's the legend in this one. And you know what? The old muscle memory might kick in and you just might get demolished in one go. So Zeta Division definitely doing their homework on this one. I love what I see. So, yeah, Angela's still getting banned out. I feel like the Angela ban is starting to become a priority just so that you can disable heroes like the Frey or the Leomord here. Is that the trend that we're seeing, Redmore?
I mean, not just that. Freya, as we did, or excuse me, Angela, as we did get to see, especially during the time when they brought her cooldown down to 20 seconds, just slots in with a lot of lineups, and especially considering there are more fighters popping up in the gold lane, just makes sense to take out Angela. I feel like there are some teams overly committing towards banning her out as early as now, though. Definitely, even if an Angela gets rush picked by Zeta Division, then Mythic Seal can just pick up an Esmeralda, and then they will have all the shields in the world to steal. You turn off a lot of picks as well that Zeta Division could go for. But maybe there's just something that we don't know yet about the Angela. Maybe the changes to her cooldown now starting once she actually like full casts the Heart Guard. It is actually ban worthy, maybe, but for now Zeta will lock in the Lancelot.
Yeah, it's also a longer duration if you think about it, because now the duration of the shield just stays on. Like, it doesn't expire anymore. Like, you can just keep going and you can just kind of reach longer and farther distances alongside your partner hero, and he's still going to be relatively well protected, whoever that may be. So, you know what, you're absolutely right. And now the Lancelot, definitely a great first pick. I love to see the Grok here as well.
Do it.
The SpongeBob, please. No? Okay, fine.
For a second there, I thought we'd be seeing Cyclops, but we are not. We still get the Kimmy there, and we get a Hilda. I like the Kimmy in this regard, considering that when you play around a Farsa and a Grok, you know that's already two heroes that are very ultimate dependent, which if you can just sidestep, great. You'll have the damage to be able to apply the pressure after they've utilized their mobility skills, their cooldowns. But as equal as a good the Kimmy pick is, the Hayabusa pick is also fantastic, because immediately you now have a lot of threat in the center of the map. And the mid trio right now of Mythic Seal, very, very good.
Yeah, great mid trio for Mythic Seal. Obviously great for picking off heroes. The moment someone gets caught by a tech charge, you can kind of just expect the Feather Airstrike salvo going down on their heads, and maybe a Hayabusa kunai going straight into their body. So, yeah, Zeta Division might just be in here for the long haul here, though. I would love to see maybe just more fighters. One for XP, one for gold. And I think they should be fine, right? Which is weird for me, because Zeta Division, it feels like they suddenly became like a normal team in my eyes, right? Like, that's what teams normally do, especially around here in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. Now with the Phoveus getting removed here, they're thinking of getting a little bit more dashes on them. Will they go Cho, Roam, and then put the Hilda in the EXP lane instead? That would still make a lot of sense. I feel like Mythic Seal cannot overlook the Yu Zhong right now, though. Considering the Gacha has already been taken away, a Yu Zhong would slot in very well for Zeta Division if ever they put that Hilda in the roam. We are going to the second phase, though, definitely, wherein the Hilda is a flex. So it might just be up to whatever Mythic Seal picks up as the fourth pick for Zeta to decide exactly where that Hilda is going.
Yeah, where this Hilda's going. Again, many options for the Hilda now, right? Because it's not just the roam pick anymore. XP lane Hilda is also a thing. Although, again, kind of depends on the matchup, where it is getting thinned down. That XP matchup is looking like it's, looks like a Ruby. And that was a pass. Are you sure about the Benedetta? Sorry, the Badang. That's good.
Yeah.
And it looks like this is gonna be it, right? That looks like it should be.
No? Yeah, Zeta Division could afford to go double fighters here, definitely.
Ooh, okay.
Lots of routes to go for. Lapu's fine. The Esmeralda and the gold lane would be fine as well. They don't necessarily need to go to marksman, considering that there's a high boost on the other side. And there you go. They get the Esme, Lapu. I like the line of a Zeta Division, although it is very centered around their Kimi too much. That now there is a lot of dive, not a lot of single target lockdown though. They have I guess they have the ultimate of the Hilda. They have the Land Shaker as well coming in from the Lapu Lapu. Point blank falling star move, but that's not going to last long. This Yu Zhang would be perfect. Easy access, fierce dive, petrify. The combo of Mythic Seal will just be devastating for a Kimi that right now, later on, Katsu will have to play the game of his life with that Kimi.
100%. Man, you're gonna get hunted down so hard. Yeah, even as a Kimi player, the Yu Zhong will definitely be on your tail, so you better watch out for that. So many things can actually go wrong for Katsu, and I think you have no choice, right? You'll have to purify it. Yeah, there you go. You have to purify on that one because there's just so much that can catch you on the Mythic Seal side.
Yep. It's going to be better mid-trio wins. Row mid-jungle who get to rotate and hold the right positions better and faster, while the X factor is going to be towards the EXP lane. Just how well the two EXP laners will be able to make the most out of their ability kits. The Lapu Lapu versus the Yu Zhong, who can maximize the crowd control and spacing they can provide. Looks like it's going to be just a little bit easier for the Yu Zhong to pull that off though, considering they have so much space they can provide for free hit feathered airstrikes from the Farsa. Welcome to game number 1 of Series 2 for this evening. It's Group D, Zeta Division versus Mythic Seal.
That's right. So Mythic Seal, obviously, we already highlighted, we already laid down their win conditions for this one. Basically, go on the hunt for the Kimi and the Lancelot, and you could be fine. Again, with the help of like a Grok, that should not be too much of a problem. I guess the biggest problem is how do you actually just get to the point where you can do the hunting and not the Lancelot hunting you instead.
Exactly. You're gonna have to be proactive here. You're gonna have to be the one starting things off initially. So a little bit more of a conservative start at the center of the map for Boye and Zhenju. Meanwhile, Kun, we were talking about the X Factor, the EXP lane. Kun might have been a little bit too greedy.
Ooh.
Way too greedy. He forced out the flicker though, but he utilizes Petrify. He went down. Not a good trade.
Yeah, absolutely not a good trade here. But again, the job is to hunt down Katsu, and so far, Boye and Nico has been doing it very well. Again, forcing out the flicker is already one. Oh, he switched back to flicker. I didn't notice that. Yeah, and purify as well. Is out of the purify means it's just gonna be easier for Mythic Seal to keep going and rinse and repeating on the mid, like what they're doing right now.
King Flash, easy shadow kill to take down Kani. Roamer down. And that's going to be Zeta Division taking a L leading up to the turtle. The good thing is, though, that 10 is still alive and they can still contest for this next one. A little bit more conservative now also is Kun after what happened to him to start off the game.
Well, that's absolutely right. He should be conservative, right? Because, ooh, nice fancy footwork there for Nico. King Flash on the side, and I think they're going to start working on that bottom side rotation, although there are 4 members present for Mythic as well. Want to make it happen on the bot side.
Kun yet again spotted out by Zeta Division. That's going to be advantage for Zeta Division. They should start off this turtle already. Falling Star Moon to the back, coming in from Moyminet, and they're going to be going forward. The Lapu Lapu and Hilda together with a feathered airstrike blasts them down. Kani goes down yet again. The second death for him this game. Meanwhile, Ruby DD, Boye, and Nico trying to extend this turtle take, trying to buy time. They will not be able to get that time as 10 gets the turtle. Black Dragon form, but for what, my good man? Kun, the fight has already been settled. You've wasted an ultimate.
Yeah, it's a big waste of an ultimate. I mean, in fairness, it will be up in a few, and his opponent is probably just going to be that Lapu Lapu, but still, man, there was a world where Zeta Division could have actually rotated bot side and waited for him. So luckily here for Mythic Seal, again, they will still have the waves in their favor. Their turrets are pretty much intact. So Zeta Division, they're happy to just keep farming up on that Lancelot, keep getting more resources on the Kimmy as well. Ooh. And the salvo is going to be the last salvo, just missing out for Nico here.
Yeah, Nico was able to predict the second to the last one really well, but June1 was able to sidestep it. Now, Mythic Seal and Zeta Division, very even game so far. Who do you think, where will be like the main focal point be? Where, if ever, will it crack first for either of these two teams?
I'm looking at that Kimmy, man, because I feel like the Kimmy is the biggest pain point here for Zeta Division, especially without the Purify. So right now on the bottom side, though, a little bit of payback being given over. And of course, King Flash going to make sure you're not going anywhere there. That's a pretty decent move coming in from Mythic Seal. Very calm and collected and surgical precision, taking down June1.
Both of these teams have a great understanding of the lineups of both. We mentioned EXP Lane as the X Factor, and there has been so many rotations committed to the EXP Lane to try and get advantage, although Kuhn still has the deficit compared to Lapu Lapu of June1. 10 just built up the War Axe. Zeta Division will be able to start things off here at the Turtle. Kuhn takes a lot of damage yet again, eating a Falling Star Moon and the Thorned Rose from the Lancelot. So it's going to be pulled out by Zeta Division, so that Mythic Seal will have to work just a little bit harder to get this turtle.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be working harder here, but it is going to be a 5v5, and Boye, pretty decent in control here. Very early back, Black Dragon form here, trying to see if he can get a measure of 10, and Muiminen actually is the one gets that turtle. What a messy team fight here for Zeta.
Meanwhile, they're still going to continue the fight here, and that is Mythic Seal getting a massive win. 3 members of Zeta Division taken out, and Mythic Seal have solidified their lead in this series, in this game specifically, as now the Black Dragon form, though early as it was, bought just enough time for Mythic Seal.
Zeta might have actually tunnel visioned a little bit too hard on that one to get the turtle. And then they were not like paying attention to the number of bodies and the number of skills that were actually running their way. Yeah, that's they lost the turtle, but you know what? Mythic Seal got some pretty good map control because of that, and will get more gold in their pockets. They're starting to build up a pretty solid lead as well.
Well, the crowd control and burst that Mythic Seal has is making every team fight uncomfortable for Zeta Division. But now we're getting close to the point where Mythic Seal are 1 or 2 big team fight wins away from getting a massive turnaround in their favor. But when Ruby DD gets spotted out in the center, it looked like Mythic Seal were trying to set up for something, a play, a turnaround, but they just couldn't get it in time as Ruby DD gets punished.
Yeah, Ruby DD on the Ruby is just, you know, it is Ruby. So it just doesn't feel the same, but yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the role that he needs to do. He's trying to do as much as he can to get back in the lane here. Again, waiting for Boya to make a big play, waiting for King Flash. That turret might just fall very, very soon here. I think it might turn into a 3v4. I don't know if this is a good call here for Mythic Seal, but they're going to sure as hell try.
Whoa! They need to back off as Boya commits the Tectonic Charge and the Flicker as well. Massive stun coming in for Zeta Division through the Landshaker, but Mythic Seal are still holding on. Feather Airstrike to safety. Katsu gets taken out eventually, and that Kimmy is gone. No more major damage dealer for Zeta Division. Mythic Seal and Zeta traded out mid laner for EXP laner.
Yeah, I know they made that call here, but that looked really bad. But you know what, Mythic Seal, with the movements of Kun, that sacrifice is very worthy, man. You're slowing down Katsu, and you're giving your team more space to farm up, especially that Hayabusa. So you're doing a very good job, and it might just cost them a good positioning on the turtle, since, you know, as you can see, trying to fight on the mid, Ruby DD.
Oh.
With the I'm offended!
Really good pull there, but it might have been a little bit too early. He does get that very quickly, but will he have it back in time? Feathered Airstrike just to try and take down Kani? A little bit too eager there for Mythic Seal, and now Traction Pulse, massive turnaround for Zeta Division. They locked in too hard on the Hilda, and now Ruby DD is gonna get caught by 3 members of Zeta. I've offended, and the Don't Run Wolf King controlling them, but the King Flash, Shadow Kill, it's not enough. Zeta Division have punished some greedy plays from Mythic Seal.
Yeah, bro, your initial call there was absolutely on point. That I'm offended way too early, and Zeta Division knew it.
Feathered Airstrike as well. Mythic Seal trying to scramble to find a turnaround again. Ruby DD, now that's perfect. But Katsu able to flicker away, showing off why he picked up that battle spell. The immobilized entry, but the tectonic charge counter by Boye is perfect. Kani gets punished. Zeta Division, though, have minimized their losses.
They've got some really decent engage, so much engage actually, but it feels like the damage is not quite where I expect it to be at 9 minutes in the game, man. Mythic Seal, I don't know, maybe Nico's having a hard time pulling consistent feathered airstrikes, but he's the main guy. Oh, just when I say it though.
Nico single-handedly finding out there, but the Land Shaker plus the Flicker from June 1 evens out the punish, but 10 finds the solo kill on the Kun in the bottom lane. That's actually a big win for Zeta Division now. As Mythic Seal, their map is getting smaller and smaller. No mid towers have gone down just yet, though, and that is going to be the next key for these two teams. Which tower in the mid will get taken down first? Meanwhile, the Hayabusa gets spotted in the mid lane. He does not commit the shadow kill. Both back off.
Yo, 10 is popping off, man. 10 is popping off. That was a solo kill on the Kun. And that's exactly what Zeta Division needs at. And if we haven't noticed, but they're actually ahead now on gold. Meaning that all the small moves they're making are actually really adding up. Giving them a big breathing room and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of advantage coming into this next Lord fight.
Mythic Seal will start things first off, though. King Flash takes a brunt of damage from the Lord. A pullback by Ruby DD means the Esmeralda used the Purify already. Entry Feathered Airstrike, perfect spot there for Nico. But Mythic Seal are holding on to their formation, and that's going to be Moymanet going down. 10 gets the kill, though, onto the Ruby. That's going to be a trade 1-for-1. Mythic Seal still continuing the fight alongside Zeta Division. King Flash able to shadow on out of there as 10 almost got taken down by him and Boye. But the Lancelot still survives.
A little surprised that was just a 1-for-1. Right now, look at that, June 1. It's super duper low. And so far, it does feel like the proper people, or the people who are supposed to stay alive, are staying alive for Zeta Division, at least for now. So, good job so far for Zeta in keeping the tempo up. But then again, they have like a very delicate balance. They have a very delicate soft spot on Katsu that they need to take care of. So, it's up to Boye, right? It's up to Boye to make something happen, to make an unexpected charge to make a play here. Yeah, they're not giving any inch.
Both junglers have Malefic Roars now. Massive power spikes on the way. Hilda spots out the Farsa. Moonminute goes in with a Falling Star Moon. Near perfect there. Shadow already committed by King Flash. 4 of them already utilized. Zeta Division might want to use this time, but they're looking towards the Grok. Here comes the Black Dragon form coming in for Mythic Seal, but Ruby DD also has a good angle. Shadow kill. Shut down though. But Gatsu miraculously gets the last hit of the Lord. Despite 10 going down, Zeta gets the Lord through sheer miraculous will by Katsu. And 2 members of Mythic Seal have fallen. Grok left behind. Boye will fall. 3 members of Mythic Seal are down.
They really, really needed that Lord there. And again, 10's going down early. I really thought that was going to be a Mythic Seal Lord. But man, oh man, Katsu really took it by surprise. Look at that though. Ruby DD making another engage. I guess they're trying to go for broke here. And a Ruby DD is going to be falling very soon. Here comes that follow-up from Nico.
Feathered Airstrike stops the members of Zeta Division's advance. And now the threat of the win here. Still not completely endable. Way too many towers to take down unless Mythic Seal get too greedy, get too sloppy. And Zeta Division will punish. Here comes the Traction Pulse. Misses. Boye does have his ultimate. He commits the tech charge. Mythic Seal, not enough follow-up. Feathered Airstrike now committed onto the Lord to bring it down. Kun able to get away from it as well. Zeta Division now still standing in front of the base of Mythic Seal. Shadow kill committed there by the Hayabusa. June 1 and MYTHIC really low, but no kill there for King Flash. Zeta Division still in control.
Yeah, they're holding on to that inhibitor turret, but I don't know if that is going to be enough to slow down Zeta. They got all the gold they need now, and that is decent, especially on Kimmy. I think we're nearing Divine Glaive on that guy, and this could... Oh, actually, it's going to be Feather of Heaven, and it's just going to make it harder for them to catch him. So, yeah, so far, Zeta Division making the correct decisions. They're making all the right moves. Mythic Seal going for broke.
A little bit too close there for comfort. Zeta Division now moving together as a 5-man unit. Still just managing the minion waves, pushing them out to continue the pressure. 58 seconds until the next Lord spawns. Mythic Seal definitely will have the wave clear that they need to clear up the minion waves. Quickly check if you can contest the Lord or actually go for the full contest. Definitely, though, they need to keep Nico alive because that's going to be their main ticket for defense. If ever things don't go Mythic Seal's way, they're gonna need to send Nico back to clear up and defend.
That's true. I think the defense is just gonna be so crucial. Again, Nico is actually the main damage dealer. For some reason, the King Flash's damage, even on a solo shadow kill target, is just not enough to take out most members of Zeta Division. For some reason, right? I'm not sure why. But yeah, it's just not as good as they think. Oh, look at that.
Zeta Division threw everything at Ruby DD, thinking they'll be able to take him down. He'll be able to get away to safely. However, they did force the flicker out of the Ruby, so they don't have to worry about a sudden surprise from the I'm Offended, either pulling them way too far back or for Ruby DD just to show up out of nowhere. It will be an honest, very foreseeable I'm Offended ultimate from the Ruby. Boy, it gets spotted out here. Kun, perfect position alongside Nico. Kun with a Petrify. Lancelot brought down really low. 10 still alive, holding on despite the feathered airstrike. And the last hit was not able to take 10 down as it was targeted to another member of Zeta Division. Mythic Seal are gonna need to go for broke now at this point because the Lancelot is down. They're gonna need to try and rush it, but they're still trying to go for the slow take. They think it's way too risky unless they're waiting for the Lancelot to bait him in closer. Entry by Kun, spotted out by Kani. The reset attempt not gonna get completed. Boy, he misses the tectonic charge, and Nico miraculously gets the Lord. A mid laner got it earlier, and another mid laner gets it again. But King Flash falls. 2 members of Mythic Seal are gone. 10 is gone for Zeta Division. Kun trying to hold in front of Kani and MYTHIC. The damage of the Yuzhong, the sustainability keeping him alive.
Oh my God!
Boye now able to assist with the Rampart, and Mythic Seal march with their Lord. Zeta has to defend Rockhart.
That was a huge team fight, non-stop action coming in from Mythic Seal and Zeta Division, and for some reason our mid laners are just so damn good at last hitting Lords in this game. And I can't really believe my eyes. It felt like Zeta Division had that, honestly. But then again, it's so hard to take down Kun, especially now that he's actually not as behind as compared to earlier. Looking at the items, yeah, 100%. Feels like you're just waiting for an Immortality and an Anti-Karas there for the Yuzhong, and he's golden. And now it is going to be Zeta Division on the defensive. This time around, just waiting to clear out these minion waves. Bro, this game is starting to really be on a knife's edge.
Everyone knows what it means for the lower bracket finals teams today, that it is an elimination for them. If they're not careful, they will lose out on the tournament. Remember, the prize pool of Games of the Future 2025, $900,000. Even if you're not going to be able to win it all, it's still a massive part of the pot that you get just for advancing forward. MYTHIC takes a lot of damage. Traction Pulse not gonna land. Feathered Airstrike committed by Nico there to bring the Esmeralda down low. Ruby DD trying to look for an opening. Not sure if he actually committed the ultimate there. June1 goes in with the raging slashes. Here it comes, but look at the Yu Zhong straight to the back. Furious dive means 10 did not have any help. They were zoned out by the Yu Zhong of Kun. The Furious dive petrify combo way too tough to get out of. And here comes another feathered airstrike coming in from Nico. Katsu trying to get him down. Moimenet goes forward and creates the space. Mythic Seal hold on to their lead.
Yeah, they're holding on, man. And that's a really good way to swerve around Zeta Division. Again, luckily still has enough tank left in the tanks to try to dash on and dive out of those Urban Ramparts and Feather Airstrike. Salvos, Moimenet! Oh my god. That was actually pretty close.
Huge chunk of damage dealt there by the Shadow Kill. But Zeta, they are holding strong. Mythic Seal, though, they keep catching Zeta Division off guard. But it might be inevitable that they will eventually get the win here, as that timing of the entry of Kun is what's messing up Zeta Division. I think if 10 or if any other member of Zeta Division wants to go forward, their main condition is to look for the Yu Zhong first. But how is that gonna work if Mythic Seal is already rushing the Lord, and it forces Zeta Division to get close to show themselves? And this is exactly what Mythic Seal wants. Moimenet trying to get the vision and holding down the front line for Zeta. But meanwhile, Mythic Seal take it slow and they go for the reset.
Yeah, it'll be a big reset. 10 is actually the soft, for some reason, right, in this game. 10 is the softest point of this lineup. And look at that, June1 evaporating like mist.
Just like that? They lined everything up. Tech charge. I'm offended. The feathered airstrike as well. And look at Kun yet again. The Black Dragon form goes straight to the back. Wind of Nature already committed there by Katsu. And that means that it's an easy entry for King Flash. Shadow Kill. And Zeta Division is falling slowly. One by one. 10 gets the 1v1 win though against Nico. He still survives. Mythic Seal has 4 members and they will not go for the push. They will go for the Lord.
Yeah, Mythic Seal found that opening and they did not let go. Katsu going down, June1 going down early, so early in that last team fight just meant that there were just no way that they were going to have enough damage to actually duke it out against Mythic Seal. And now Zeta Division are going to have to be on the defensive against a very beefy Lord. It'll be a hard time for them to actually clear this. I forget, so beefy. I think like that's Evolved Lord already. And their main DPS is a Kimmy. And we saw how vulnerable this Kimmy is to just non-stop pick-off attempts here coming in from Mythic Seal. So it's going to be tough to defend. And luckily, they have some time to plan it out. They've got a few seconds here of Braving Room before we get into it. And before the Lord arrives here, the Mythic Seal are already setting up for the big siege, trying to get those minion waves in order. And this is going to be a tough ask to defend.
Seems like it's way too easy right now for Nico every time to just get into a great spot with a feathered airstrike. But then all the control abilities, all the initiation tools that Mythic Seal has. Again, one of the problems we have for Zeta Division's lineup is that they did not have enough crowd control. And look at all that crowd control. Lock 10 down. 10. Rampart is up. And the tectonic charge from Boye is the definitive end of this game number 1 as 10 and Katsu fall. Mythic Seal will have their eyes set on the base. They want to end it here. 21 minutes in. Too much control, too much damage, and way too much bodies to deal with. Win for Mythic in game 1.
That is a very well-deserved win here for Mythic Seal. Obviously, it's not as clean as we thought it would be coming into this one. But, man, oh man, they knew how to find those pain points. They knew how to find these soft spots on the side of Zeta Division. And they were good at punishing any small movements, any small mispositions that the Lancelot or the Kimmy was doing. Again, it helps that you have a Grok, right, that has a tectonic charge that can do it at any point of the game. But again, just making sure that you're a cohesive unit to take down those targets is also very important. Boye, MVP for that game.
Our highlight player for this game number 1 against Zeta Division. 1 killed, 2 deaths, 13 assists. And we saw how massive time and time again the tectonic charge of Boya's Grok was to set things up very easily for Nico in the Farsa or with the Farsa. And then with all of the initiations, as we were saying, every tectonic charge was always followed up by something. That's what I liked about Mythic Seals here, where they didn't wait for it. They knew the value of a tectonic